they are now more likely to vote for Roy Moore. Why is this happening to the Republican Party if we are supposed to be the moral party? I would just like to pose the question, like, is it really just ignorance that all of these people do not feel safe with the Republican Party?
No. Well, the Roy Moore business in Alabama is a little different. The Republican Party, not its establishment wing, because its establishment wing, and I was part of this. I mean, you live in D.C., your Bible, your daily news Bible is the Washington Post. So if the Washington Post says, we found 4 women to accuse Roy Moore, the typical Republican will go, there goes Roy Moore's career. You know, these guys are like wildebeests. You know, and they don't want to be the one that's shot or eaten. So at the slightest sign, they run. They want the other wildebeest to be prey. This is the sort of McConnell sensibility going on here. But there's a totally different sensibility, and it's not just in Alabama, because I feel it myself. And that is, in a world of limited information, you have to decide who to trust. And you have to decide how to ascertain what's true when you weren't there. So take the Roy Moore case. Yes, if Roy Moore did those things, he should absolutely be expelled from the Republican Party and not permitted to sit as a senator. But did he do them? Did he do them? You know, I've seen Ben Shapiro tweeting out, well, gee, you know, did the Washington Post write that little memo in the little girl's yearbook? But now when you look at that, and I don't know if you've been following this, it is not clear that Roy Moore wrote that. There are all kinds of indications that that is a forgery. And when Wolf Blitzer just asked Gloria Allred, will you certify that Roy Moore wrote that in the yearbook, she's saying, I won't. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. In other words, it's the timing of this accusation that makes intelligent people think something fishy is going on. 40 years passes, the guy is now running for Senate, 30 days before the election, 10 accusations. Yeah. All these women were dead silent for the full 40 years. But now they come out in such a manner that none of their statements can be verified. All that can be verified is what they told each other. But there's no independent verification that he did any of this. So if he did it, those women have been grievously wronged. But if he didn't, he is being grievously wronged. So which of those two possibilities is happening? I don't know. Let me just say this. Let me take your other question about blacks in the Republican Party. The Republican Party, again, because it is so stung by the race card, because it believes all the lies about itself, it is scared to go into the black community. The only guy who has the courage to do it, in my opinion right now, is Trump. Trump can do it. And I hope he does do it. Because it's only when Republicans go into black communities and speak. I mean, if I gave this talk at Howard University to an all-black audience, the same talk I've given tonight, I assure you it would shake up the audience. A lot of those people, when I made the movie Hillary's America, I hired black actors and put them in the movie. They knew nothing about the movie. They auditioned for roles. They were in the movie. To a man, at the end of the movie, all of them were like, we're out of the Democratic Party. We're gone. If what you say is true, Dinesh, we're no longer Democrats. But see, they've never heard it. It's never been said. And even Republicans will push back when you say it, because the Republican strategy is if anybody brings up race, the Republican says things like, why don't we talk about the bread and butter issues that are really important to America? In other words, we're too scared to address this topic. We plead guilty, basically. Let's go talk about something else. This is the most disastrous strategy ever devised by man. And it will sink the Republican Party if we keep at it. This is why we can't hinge our fate to people like McCain and Romney. It's literally, they are basically the Titanic of the Republican Party.